and welcome to TopX, where we count down the very best that YouTube has to offer. I'm your host, Dan, and today we're doing all things infotainment and counting down the top 10 entertainment news channels. This list was a bit tough to put together for a number of reasons. First of all, what qualifies as entertainment news sort of varies. Almost all news today is presented in a way that makes it as entertaining as possible, and even so-called serious news sources cover news in the entertainment industry. On top of that, some of the most popular sources for what qualifies as entertainment news are well-established brands and companies, and it seems unfair to judge user-made content along the same lines as those. However, ignoring these larger brands would be excluding a large section of where YouTube gets a lot of its infotainment. So, with that in mind, we judged our entries based on a mix of subscriber numbers, views, votes from our users, personal preference, and of course, general impact on the YouTube community. Number 10, Young Hollywood. We're only at number 10 and already we have a doozy on our hands. Here we have Young Hollywood, who claim it's not about age, it's about attitude.
It's not about age, it's about attitude.
I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah. No small fry. Young Hollywood has their own studio set up in the Four Seasons Hollywood, where they get to score some interviews with some of the highest names in Hollywood, or Young Hollywood that is, like, Zac Efron.
If you were a burger at McDonald's, what would you call yourself?
My gut would be the Big Zac.
Now, unlike a certain other channel who may or may not appear later on this list, Young Hollywood has defined themselves by being very anti-paparazzi. This, according to them, allows their guests to be a lot more comfortable, and has certainly contributed to the high level of access they've been afforded lately.
I love to drink. Normally.
Well, I know, because Juju was here and she told me that the first time you guys met, you took her out for tequila.
Number 9, Barcroft TV. Founded in 2003, Barcroft TV was originally intended to be just a promotional channel, but it's now the second most popular news channel in all of YouTube.
And while Teresa's family tolerated her porn career, they found her conversion to Christianity harder to stomach.
We do, however, use the term news very lightly. While other channels like to concern themselves with entertainment and celebrity gossip, Barcroft TV focuses primarily on human interest stories. These range from documentaries set in North Korea to exposés on weightlifting grandmas or adult film stars that have found God.
Once an adult actress, mum-to-be Teresa Carey now travels the country under the name Born Again Christian, talking about the religious epiphany she and her husband experienced together.
More often than not, their stories are very strange or fascinating, but they don't necessarily fall into the traditional spectrum of what's considered news. One noteworthy sort of side facet of their channel is their focus on animals. They have playlists for sharks, one for lions, and my personal favorite, Animal vs. GoPro.
Inventive photographer Chris Bray captured the amazing footage by attaching a GoPro camera to a remote control car and driving it straight up to the young lions.
Number 8, Russell Brand, The Trues. It's funny that the simplest channel we've seen so far is actually associated with the biggest name we've seen so far. Russell Brand has been making huge strides with his online appearances. But that said, he's very grassroots as far as YouTube goes. It's usually just him vlogging in front of his camera.
I got a text message from a person saying, "Have you seen Kim Kardashian's ass?" And I thought, well, yes, more than I've seen my own ass. I've only seen my own ass a few times in the mirror, and frankly, I'm not that impressed with it.
Now, Russell Brand's channel is a bit hard to qualify. He discusses very serious world issues, which actually would have made him a candidate for our serious news channel. However, his outlandish delivery and hilarious commentary make him a bit of a better fit for this, the entertainment news list. And, he is a celebrity after all.
The people at the top haven't earned that position. That most of the wealth in this country is controlled by people that were born with the wealth in this country. The vast majority. Social mobility is a bit of a myth.
Those of you looking for a mix of biting political commentary and dry British wit should feel right at home on Brand's channel. You should be warned, though, that he does take himself rather seriously. Where do you think he got the inspiration for that logo? Number 7, Hollywire. Hollywire, or Hollywire TV, is a daily entertainment and celebrity gossip news channel hosted by the incredibly charming Chelsea Briggs.
Well, I can't say I saw this one coming, you guys. It is the newest trend to sweep Hollywood. I present to you celebs wearing pasties.
Very much a celebrity news focused channel, they have a segment called Hot Minute, which is a once-a-day rundown of the hottest, juiciest celebrity news.
Get your shipping hats on. I said that in an accent. That was funny. I'm your host, Chelsea Briggs, coming to you from Hollywood, and you're watching the Hollywire Hot Minute.
They're in fact so devoted to the younger pop stars that they have separate playlists just for those single stars, like Taylor Swift or Selena Gomez. Aside from their ardent focus on the trials and tribulations of the young, rich, and famous, Hollywire TV is a channel that's very much defined by their host. Chelsea Briggs hosts pretty much every video on the channel, injecting her upbeat, bubbly energy into every segment without fail.
She took to the catwalk last year wearing this British ensemble that caused a bit of a fuss because, you know, Harry Styles is, yeah, you get it.
Number 6, TMZ. Come on, you didn't think we wouldn't include them, did you? Regardless of your opinion of TMZ, they're definitely one of the driving forces in celebrity and gossip news. So, here they are.
You'll love it so much you'll pee in your pants! Or a bucket, whichever's closer, right, Beeps?
We swagger, man.
In case you didn't know, TMZ is the paparazzi channel, whether they like that label or not. Now, FYI, TMZ stands for 30-mile zone, which refers to the historic studio district that lies within a 30-mile radius of West Beverly Boulevard and North La Cienega Boulevard in Hollywood. While TMZ is one of the biggest names in the biz, they've gone the opposite route from channels like Hollywire or Young Hollywood, who focus on positive stories and instead revel in the dirtiest of the dirt.
But in all seriousness, congrats to Kim Kardashian for helping guys, and hopefully a few ladies, remember why you're famous.
This approach, for better or for worse, has allowed them to get a lot of first break sort of footage. Chances are the first time you saw Rihanna's bruised face or Ray Rice knocking out his fiancée, it was with a big TMZ logo plastered across it.
TMZ Sports obtained the video that reveals everything that happened between Ray Rice and then-fiancée Janae Palmer at an Atlantic City casino back in February.
Number 5, What the Buck Show. Shifting away from super high production value and really big brand names and into the more grassroots YouTube kind of content, we have number 5 with the What the Buck Show.
Taylor Swift is crazy and I love every second. TGIM!
The What the Buck Show is hosted by Michael Buckley. Now, I mentioned that his show is more grassroots and not as high production value, but he does have one thing that is in common with the guys and gals over at TMZ, and that is sass. Lots of sass.
Yesterday, Kylie Jenner had a trampoline accident, better than her sister who had a tramp accident. Hey, welcome to my channel, please subscribe. I think I'm going to use that as my channel trailer. Zing, zang, boom.
While he does cover the big entertainment news stories of the day, there's nothing particularly exclusive about his stories or content. It's really Michael Buckley as a host that makes the channel unique, so your enjoyment of his channel will largely depend on whether or not you like your celebrity gossip delivered by a very sassy man.
What's the straightest thing I've ever done? A vagina?
Number 4, Awesomeness TV. So, if you've been watching this list and thinking, damn, I feel old, this next entry is going to make you feel a whole lot worse. Awesomeness TV is a channel purely aimed at the preteen and teen market, and their content certainly reflects this.
If you've clicked on this video, we hope it's because you want to learn more about Selena Gomez. Well, stick around and we're going to give you guys 10 facts about Selena that you might not have already known.
Awesomeness TV strives to be a young teen's one-stop shop on YouTube for all things entertainment. On top of the standard celebrity gossip, they have beauty guru tutorials, pranks and sketches, and lots of funny countdowns.
And she has a major crush on Shia LaBeouf. Watch how sweet and nervous she got when she first met him.
Hey! Hey, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
One way to think of Awesomeness TV is like a real television station. While other YouTube channels like to work as platforms for single shows, Awesomeness TV features several different shows, much like MTV or Teen Nickelodeon.
Yes, that happens.
Number 3, Just Kidding News. One thing that's sorely lacking for a lot of the channels we've seen so far is a bit of discussion. Some of the people we've seen inject a bit of personality or opinion into their reporting, but rarely is there a back and forth, interchange of ideas. This is what makes Just Kidding News so special.
You're Asian over there. She's pretty.
I mean, she's pretty, but she's not like crazy to like. Well, maybe that's a weird picture. I didn't say she.
Let me see her in action though.
Just Kidding News is instantly recognizable by their style. Whenever they tackle any sort of news story, be it lighthearted or very serious, they have a number of hosts sitting in what looks like a simulated round table sort of discussion, with different cameras positioned to capture any of the hosts at any given moment. This makes their videos come off a lot more like a group vlog rather than a factual news show, but it also injects a lot of personality into the topics that they're discussing.
This man sued his ex-wife for having ugly babies.
Was he misled? That's why, right?
He was very misled.
Moving away from the roundtable discussion, they also have Just Kidding News documentaries, which focus on human interest stories with a bit more depth. These are stories like the life of a bikini barista in Vietnam, or the life of a competitive eater.
When I first started in competitive eating, I was probably, based off what I know now, I was probably capable of putting somewhere around 4.5, 5 pounds.
Number 2, clever news. So, after seeing all types of variations on the entertainment news style, we now come back at number 2 to the real bread and butter celebrity news gossip stuff.
We've got proof that 2014 was the year of the booty.
And don't forget, it was the year that Taylor Swift RIP'd us all.
And do you remember all the breakups and romances that happened this year?
I can't remember it all, but we're gonna recap it on today's very special rundown.
Clever News is very host-driven, but their personalities are less focused on injecting opinion and more focused on the, well, facts, if you will. Their segments clearly mimic the types of celebrity news shows you'd see on TV, and their slick editing and high production value definitely succeeds in this regard.
She had 4 major top 10 hits, was constantly accused of being a diva, and then she became one half of Big Grande. I know that sounds like a menu option at Taco Bell, but you know what the I'm talking about.
This being a channel devoted to celebrities, scandals and feuds are something that their videos focus on frequently. Detailed he said, she said breakdowns of celebrity Twitter feuds are rather commonplace on the channel, and they even have another segment called Rumor Patrol, where they tackle the 3 biggest rumors of the week and try to get to the bottom of them.
Are Taylor Swift and Ansel Elgort hot for one another?
And did Demi Lovato dump Miley Cyrus as a friend because of Miley's drug use?
All this and more on Rumor Patrol.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few that just didn't make the cut. Number 1, SourceFed. SourceFed is a channel founded by Philip DeFranco, who you may know from his own channel and from the similarly named SourceFed Nerd.
Today I bring you a video that is always the most requested video of the year, and that is the sexy list for 2014.
Much like Awesomeness TV, SourceFed is a channel that's a bit hard to peg. They have a ton of host-driven content, much of which relies on the eccentric personalities of their very deep roster of hosts.
Lights! Camera!
Oh, action?
Yeah, sure. I'm William Haynes. I'm Joe Beretta.
Trisha Hershberger.
Karina Scully.
The negotiator.
And I'm Gaia, mistress of Earth.
Encouraging this idea that SourceFed is a series of shows rather than just a platform for a single show is their playlist system. This actually took me a second or two to figure out, but essentially they have a separate playlist for each day. A lot of the channels we've seen today vary up and down the scale between serious news, entertainment news, and human interest stories. SourceFed is our number 1 because they cover all the bases. This is probably so because they have one of the biggest budgets and post the most content. But regardless, if you like your news to be on the entertaining side and have a lot in it, then you gotta go to the source.
Diplo tweeted, someone should make a Kickstarter to get Taylor Swift a booty. Lord wrote back, should we do something about your tiny penis while we're at it? Boom! Body shaming combated with body shaming. Woo!
Well, that's it for our list. Be sure to vote for future lists on our suggestion page website, and for more great top 10s every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.